Well, I'm Lucy Allan, and I am the newly elected MP for Telford, which was one of the 5 seats that the Conservative Party won from Labour in England at the election in May. My background was as a chartered accountant originally with Price Waterhouse, working in business turnaround, and then subsequently as a local councillor and getting involved in various aspects of work within the health service and community organisations. Last week was, without doubt, the weirdest of my political life so far. It was never about my use of social media. It was only ever about activists unhappy they didn't get the MP they wanted, frustrated they didn't get the government they wanted, and angry that this government has had to implement tough decisions in order to keep this country on track. I know that most people don't hide behind creepy aliases or spend their time on Twitter trying to whip up a fury. These people don't represent Telford. These people are not Telford. I also know that I should not have engaged with these people on social media. Now, I've got a contract with Telford. It's on my website, lucyallan.com, and I'm going to go on delivering on that contract. And no amount of unhappy activists or Twitter sphere fury is going to get in the way.
Could you give us your name?
It's Adam Watling.
Adam, do you use any social media?
I do, yes.
And what name do you use on social media?
On Facebook and on Twitter, I use the name Rusty Shackelford.
And why do you use that name?
Because I talk quite a lot about political issues on those, and I have family who are affiliated with political parties, whereas I myself am not, and it's to basically keep a disassociation from that.
Okay. With this alias, Lucy Allan said last week that Rusty was an alias. Is it an alias like a criminal would use?
No.
Do you commit crime using Rusty as an alias?
No.
Or is Rusty simply a social media handle?
Yeah, it's a social media handle.
Are you a Telford resident?
I am.
And who's your MP?
Lucy Allan.
Ever met her?
Not in person, no.
Ever speak to her?
Aside from a couple of emails, no.
Okay. Do you ever write a letter to her?
Never.
Okay. When did you send the emails?
The first one was on the 27th of November 2015.
And you've got the email there in front of you, I understand.
I do.
And what did you hear anything back from Lucy Allan?
I did. I got a response basically thanking me for my email, addressing the issue of Syria, a very small amount, and then moving on to say that other parts of my email were, it was implied that they were inappropriate. I can't remember the exact words she used.
Okay. Is that the last you heard of?
That was the
email?
That was the last correspondence that Lucy sent to me.
Right.
But a few, maybe a week or so later, I got a call from a friend who had told me that Lucy had published some of this email on her social media, on her Facebook page.
And you previously sent this email to her parliamentary address?
That's correct.
Email
yes.
address?
Yeah.
So she'd published it on Facebook. Was it the complete email?
It was not, no.
Was there anything that really stood out about the email she published?
Yes, there were 3 words at the end of the part that she published that I had not written.
And what were they?
Unless you die.
And you heard me read out the beginning 3 paragraphs of your email.
Right.
Were those paragraphs in the email that she published on or that was published on her Facebook?
They were not. Nothing at all about Syria or that situation was in.
So that was
she
missing,
published.
was it?
Yes.
Did you write the words "unless you die"?
I did not.
Do you know anyone who did write them that might have?
Not to my knowledge, no.
No?
And I don't, no, basically.
And this was definitely on Lucy Allan's Facebook page?
100%, yeah.
Okay. Did she give you any explanation for those words?
No, she released a statement, I think, but nothing personally to me. I did email her, I replied to her reply specifically asking her to justify what had happened on her Facebook page, and I received no reply.
Okay. Now, she later said that she had conflated two emails.
Right.
What do you understand by conflation?
Put together.
Okay. Is conflation an accurate word to describe the missing paragraphs in your email that went on her Facebook page?
As far as I can see, no. Well, in the context it was used, when I first saw it, I thought that it came across as quite threatening, and that I was being presented as having threatened or wished death upon.
Because this wasn't an email back to you from Lucy; it was your email.
Yes.
Somewhat truncated.
Sure.
Published on her Facebook.
Yeah.
With your name on it?
With the name Rusty, yeah.
And how did you feel about that?
Quite angry at first. It was because I'm not in any way an abusive or threatening person. I would never do or say anything like that to anyone, even if their political beliefs are not in line with mine.
Right. Have you ever embarked on a campaign of harassment against Lucy Allan, MP?
I have not. No.
Okay. You ever threatened her?
Nope.
Lucy Allan says your claims over this email are false. In other words, she's saying you've lied about it. Last week at the lighting of the beacon to celebrate the Queen's 90th birthday in Telford, she denied she'd altered your email, but she wouldn't give the name of anyone else who altered it. What's your response to that?
Well, I think that says it all, to be honest. If it had she at any point come forth with any sort of reasonable explanation for why this has happened, then I'd happily accept it, or if she brought forth some evidence to say that there was another email that contained those words that she had put together, I'd accept that, but we've seen nothing. We've had absolutely nothing.
Is the use of the word conflated and then a denial of interference, does that stack up at all for you? Did you lie about your email?
I didn't. I've been completely upfront about it from the moment I sent it. It went straight on my Facebook, which was quite lucky. I just put it up there just as just to say, encourage other people to email and say, don't bomb Syria. And yeah. Yeah. that's
Are you part of some conspiracy to smear Lucy Allan?
Absolutely not. No.
And who, if anyone, between you and her, has been smeared?
Well, based on that original post, I'd have to say myself.
Based on that Facebook post?
That Facebook post from her page, I'd say that was, yeah.
Do you have any idea of anyone else who might have tampered with your email before posting it on Lucy Allan's Facebook?
No clue.
Now, one definition of forgery, there are several, is that it's the process of making, adapting or imitating objects, statistics or documents with the intent to deceive for the sake of altering the public perception. Have you ever adapted a document such as an email with the intent to deceive for the sake of altering public perception?
Absolutely not, no.
What would you call someone who alters another person's email and then publishes it without their permission?
Dishonest, to put it lightly.
Excuse me, Lucy, is there anyone else who could have done those alterations to Rusty's email apart from you?
Nice to meet you. What's your name, sir?
My name's Alistair Mitchell.
Very nice to meet you.
Yeah.
It's a lovely day to have the Queen's
Yeah, do you want to
event.
answer that question? Because we've been waiting quite a few months for you to answer it.
Who's we?
Well, several people around Telford have been asking the question, who made the alterations to Rusty's
Well,
email?
it's very good of you to ask.
Why
but
don't
it's
you answer the question?
I'm not quite following you. We're here to celebrate the Queen's birthday, and it's a great evening.
Well, I'm
and
celebrating
really looking
Iggy
forward
Pop's
to it.
birthday,
Are
actually.
you?
But
Are you?
would you like
How
to?
old's he
69.
today?
Would you like to
Is
answer
he?
the question, or do you want to evade it?
I'm not sure why you're so upset tonight.
Well,
it's
no,
a
no.
lovely day, and we are here to
No,
celebrate
I'm
the
simply
Queen's
asking you a
birthday.
question.
Okay, well, very nice.
You don't
to
want
meet
to answer it, do you?
I don't know who you are, sir, but
Well,
I'm
you don't
very...
have to know who. I've told you who I am.
Okay. Well, I hope
Why
you
don't
enjoy
you
the
answer the
evening.
question? Do you want to keep dodging?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You do. Rusty Shackelford's email with the
you mean the
alteration,
alias
the
chat.
unless,
Oh,
the unless you die email. Did you make
Councillor-
the alterations to it?
I didn't alter any emails, sir, and I've
You
made
didn't alter any email.
Would you like me to send you the statement that was released at the time?
We've
Because I
got
think
your
there's-
statement.
Oh, well, I've nothing to add to the statement.
Why did you
tonight.
do all those
It's the Queen's-
alterations?
Queen's birthday.
If you didn't do the
Thanks so much.
alterations,
Very
who
nice to
did?
meet you.
You keep ducking, don't
How are
you?
doing?
I emailed Lucy asking her where this second email was, because after watching the whole scenario unfold on Facebook, where she'd said, "Oh, I've received threats, here's an example," and she'd posted it. And then Rusty came on saying, "Well, I sent you that, but I didn't say those words," and then it all sort of unfolded, and then she deleted it. And then later in the day she'd said, "Oh, well, it was two emails, and I collated them into one as an example of the kind of abuse I get." So I just said, "Okay, well, can we see the second email? It'd been a long time, weeks, I think." I said, "Well, can we see it? Because unless you provide evidence, I've got no option but to not believe you, that you're lying." She replied saying that being in the public eye, she's used to getting abuse and mudslinging things, and she didn't actually answer the question at all. And then she said about how the taxpayer doesn't pay for her to be on Facebook, and she doesn't have to be on Facebook, and she doesn't have time to respond to these sorts of things.
And just after Christmas, I think early on in the new year, I rang her secretary, her office, and requested an appointment at the January surgery. And to be fair, the secretary was fairly helpful. She did want to know what I wanted to talk to her about, and I was quite honest and open and said I wanted to discuss Syria. I understand that the email thing's going about, but that's small fry at the moment. The vote was fairly soon. I don't know if the vote was in January, I can't remember. I was trying to get an appointment before she actually voted. It turns out that there weren't any available appointments, so her secretary advised that I ring the following week to try and get an appointment in February, which I did. And again, she asked me why I wanted to speak to her, and I said it was concerning Syria and the emails and the kerfuffle, for want of a better word, surrounding the emails. Her secretary did her best to persuade me that my questions weren't as important as other constituent questions, and she was trying to hold slots open for other constituents. The lack of media attention, the lack of basic attention from anyone in the area, that it just seemed a bit of a joke, and it did seem that it was the norm. What do you expect? It's a politician. She's going to be kept quiet, and that will be the end of it. So I just felt a bit voiceless, to be honest. And after being told, sorry, I did forget that after 3 letters to the Parliamentary Complaints Commission, I was told each successive time that my chance to sort of broach Lucy on this subject and make my voice heard would be when the votes were cast at the next election. And I think waiting 4+ years to solve this isn't by any means good enough at all, at all. But it just makes a mockery of this democracy, that it doesn't say there's nothing transparent. It's all cloak and daggers behind locked doors. She will make the decision, or they will make the decision, and we've just got to put up with it. But no, nothing since.
I was one of many people who went on her Facebook page on the 11th of December 15, and I simply asked her the question, why won't you deal with the question that many people are asking you, to make all of the criticism go away, and answer the simple question, why won't you publish the Unless You Die email? Because all people want from you is an explanation as to where those words came from. On the 11th of December, there were so many people asking the same question that rather than answering the question, Lucy Allan decided to take down the comments that were being made, so that, and then she took down the Facebook account altogether for a period of time, so that in the end, in spite of so many people asking her the same question, she failed to come up with the answer.
In a controversy where you were alleged to have fabricated a death threat against you. What's your response to that? Do you have any regrets?
Well, that was totally unfounded, and what I regret most is that I haven't had the opportunity to make that case. So I would very much like to come on a programme and talk about the whole situation, because it's an extraordinary story and quite horrifying what actually happened.
That's the case, Lucy Allan. It's a deal. You can come on and we'll sort it out.
Thank you. I would like
thank you very much. And we'll call you back as soon as we can. Thank you very much.